welcome to another episode of the interviewing. Today is a very special. This is Jason. He is a photographer, and he also do a YouTube channel. So
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you as well. So today we might talk about very a personal conversation.
Yeah.
And I would like to ask some questions that
Sure.
why you do street photography.
Yeah. Well, it started in New York City, and I had just moved there about 10 years ago or so, and I just loved walking around the city. And I wasn't a street photographer per se, but I was just an urban photographer, shooting what I discover, shooting what I see, shooting interesting things happening on the street. A lot of interesting things in New York.
Oh, okay.
So it was fun to be able to not only capture the grit and the grime of New York, but capturing people on camera was really great. And before the urban and street photography, I'd been shooting professionally for many years, but it was more like marketing and advertising and these types of things. And hadn't really ventured into the urban sphere. And then moving to Tokyo, it was sort of like it's on. It's all happening right here. No, I think after moving to Tokyo, it was just immediate urban and street photography right in my face. I knew I had to just get out there and shoot people and shoot the textures of Tokyo. There's 34 million people in Tokyo. And then in Tokyo proper is 14 million. So it's a lot of people, a lot of opportunities. And then this is all on digital. And then a couple years ago, I just decided to shoot film, which I had done many years prior, but hadn't done in a long time. So I decided to start shooting film again.
That's actually a good idea, yeah.
So being in Tokyo there's a very robust film community here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of advice. There's a lot of people to look to for commentary or where to shoot these things. So it had been many years since I had shot film. So when I got back into it, I ran through a number of different kinds of cameras. And did this whole discovery of what kind of camera I want, and was never really satisfied. And that brought me to the Leica M6.
Oh, yeah.
And the prices for Leicas are getting up there.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And a couple years ago, actually a year ago is when I bought the Leica.
Yeah.
And prices have gone up significantly. So when I got it, I knew it was a good time to pull the trigger. And it's done me well. I like it a lot. It's a good way to, for me, I like to slow down with that camera.
Okay.
I like to take my time with it. When a lot of people are like, zone focus, go.
Yeah. That's my type as well.
That's your type.
Yeah.
So you also shoot a Leica. What do you like about the MP that you use?
Oh, so probably many people never heard that I use an MP. I use bigger camera. Well, actually, I've been wanting to this camera 6 years ago.
Yeah.
But I wasn't that really finding the way, the excuse that I can use Leica. But more recently, I'm more like a snappy kind of photographs. I do snap photos.
Right.
But occasionally, street photography is very fast paced.
Right.
Because a lot of Japanese people just walk so fast, you can't even keep up with it. So that's where the Leica came in useful, because I can zone focusing of the distance that they walk, and also trying to composition, imagine what it looks like. So Yeah, excuse for the exposure going up and down.
It's
But
all right. The sun's going in and out.
yeah, that's true.
That's what happens.
Yeah. This particular camera, recently I'm more focused on the like a Sunny 16 rule, but I'm more cautious of what the surrounding looks like. So before I photograph someone, I just look at the background, what the background looks like, and what the person's personality involved. You know, to see people's the expression, the emotions. Even with the mask, it's still visible by their eyes.
Right.
But with film, it's quite easier to find. You know, with the Leica, you kind of not give a distraction like an SLR. I think I have that kind of issue that like I get confused, it gets distracted too much because like whatever you shoot, whatever you the image and the whatever you look at it is two different things. Because the SLR, they just shows you a wide open aperture to see what the composition kind of looks like. But after you took a shot, that bokeh that you have before when you take a shot, it's because you're shooting like f/16, everything is just like full images.
Right.
So sometimes I get confused, and I'll be like, "What the hell? Why is everything's focused?" So
Right.
that's why I like just like everything I know will be in focus because I always shoot like f/8 to f/16, that kind of area.
Yeah.
So I know everything will be in focus alongside I focus it right.
Right.
So of course, like doing street photography of the zone focusing, the wider the lens, the much easier it is.
Yeah.
But sometimes I use 50 or like 35 to do zone focusing.
Right.
And some of the shots are nailed it, some of the shots are, you know, completely off focus.
Right.
But yeah.
So we talked about what you like to shoot and how,
Yeah.
but tell me why. Why do you like street photography? Why do you like shooting?
I guess it's an excuse to go out. That's the main reason I do street photography. Just an excuse to go out.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, when I noticed my like hometown, you know, my hometown starts getting remodeled and start shifting, and like all these old houses, old buildings are starting getting demolished.
Yeah.
And like this year September, which I might make it a video in the future, my hometown station is going to be remodeled in September. So they're gonna change everything.
Oh,
The
so
whole-
you're documenting.
So I'm trying to documenting the my environment, my daily environment. So I'm trying to like have some sort of memory. So like in the future, I get some sort of really good memory behind it.
Yeah, that's
So
cool.
that's a good excuse why I do street photography.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that.
thank you.
Yeah, you know it. Definitely. We were out a few nights ago, and we were in sort of like the early evening, and we took some shots.
Yeah,
I had the M6, and I was shooting with Ilford's XP2,
yeah.
and I believe most of the time I was shooting ISO 1600 on that. Box speed is 400, but I was shooting 16, so we're gonna see how these turn out.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And I did go down to 800 on some of those images, but I'm looking forward to seeing those. I will develop those, and I'll share.
Oh yeah, please do. Yeah.
But today we're out in a different neighborhood during the day.
Yes.
And we're actually using this guy right here, Canon EOS
Canon
1.
EOS 1N. All right.
And this is Canon's second to last film camera ever made.
Okay.
So this camera was the predecessor to their digital lineup, so it looks very similar, has some similar features. So there's a lot of cool options. There's a lot of really interesting things that I can set on this camera.
Yeah.
You know, like especially I love the different kinds of metering that are really easily changeable, and just a couple cool features that I like. Anyway, it's very, very cheap, and I like a good deal. So I bought one that was basically new old stock. That was for a couple $100. and I love this camera, and I started shooting with it, and I thought to myself, I'm actually going to put it away. I'm going to put it back in the box
Yeah.
and buy that one, which is sort of like my beater.
Yeah.
The one,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't care if it gets scratched, you know. And I only shoot with two different lenses. I have a Fast 50.
Okay.
It's the second version, and with the plastic mount. So
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm a little careful with it because
Yeah.
it's a plastic mount, and if something happens, it's just gonna break.
Oh,
But
yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
cheap, and I have another one which is 28 to 135, and
Oh.
I like that mostly because I can get like a little bit more stealth. You know, I can
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
zoom in
yeah,
on
yeah.
people a little
Like a
bit.
little bit of the distance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think a lot of street photographers aren't into the zooms, and
That's true. Yeah.
and people like their prime. A lot of street photographers like their prime lenses.
Yeah.
I do too, but I actually like. There's something interesting about having that zoom lens when I'm cruising around. I can sort of weed through a crowd and
Yeah.
zoom in on somebody that's doing something weird, which
Yeah.
I like.
Yeah.
And yeah. So anyway,
That is an interesting topic because like um, there's like few people use like 85 millimeter lens or like a telephoto lens
Right.
to photograph the thing, and a lot of people who use
Telephoto.
telephoto lens
Zoom.
yeah, I might get discriminated because
Yeah.
you know one time I used like a telephoto lens on like far distance when taxi comes in,
Yeah.
and then the security guard said you can't take photograph here. That's considered as the tosatsu. And tosatsu means like yeah, I think like you know that there's a person just to take their phone and take a
Oh,
picture
right.
underneath the skirt or
Yeah,
something.
naughty stuff.
The naughty stuff, yeah. The people call me that. A security guard called me that, which is I was like, okay, I'm not gonna use telephoto lens. If there's so many people says that that's not good, then I might use like right in their face.
Right.
So that's not Katosatsu. That's like
Yeah.
actual street photographers trying to take a picture in your face.
Got it.
Nobody's gonna make excuse with that, right?
Right.
So I think a lot of people making that excuse that this is not Tosatsu.
Right. Yeah.
So I usually use 50 or like 35. Like 50 is like the closest telephoto I can get.
Yeah. No, we were also talking about using Leica glass, Voigtlander, Canon glass, all these
Yeah.
different kinds of lenses on Leicas, and I know that a lot of people, I've actually read and seen and heard many people saying, you know, why would you want to use any other lens besides Leica lenses on your Leica camera?
Yeah, that's sure.
You know what? To me, might have to bleep this one out, but you know, if you're a shitty photographer,
Yeah.
no lens is gonna make you a better photographer.
That is true.
You know, I think that if you have the skills and you know what your lens can do, then have at it. Like me personally, I don't need a $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 lens to capture what I'm capturing with my $100 70-year-old Canon lens. And to me, that's actually really important because I know that I can put this on my camera and I can go and take great shots. It's a good lens. It delivers. And, you know, for people who are starting out in photography,
Yeah.
they might not be able to afford, you know,
That's true. Yeah.
everything. You know, they might be able to afford the body, but they might not be able to afford the lens to go with it. So there are many options for people.
Yeah.
And I like that. I don't, you know, I'm not one to be like, look, you have, you know, you need Zoomicron, man.
No.
It's not Sumalux. You know, forget it. You can't shoot that Leica camera without that. That's not what I'm about. You know, and it's important. You know, like I said, when people are starting out, I think it's just get a camera that you can learn on, and you know, if I think we were talking about like what's kind of like, what would you recommend, like a good camera for somebody to learn on?
I would say like get it like a lens that is like affordable enough, but it also keeps it long enough. of your production. So like throughout these years, I'm always shooting like a 50 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
So I bought like the cheapest Leica in like the whole series is a Sumira.
Yeah.
It's like less than a thousand, but like you can buy like an L mount lens and you mount it on the L mount to the M mount screw mount, right? So like you can. There's so many like other lenses that are much cheaper that has unique characteristic, but I don't think that like people should be like primarily focused on like Summicon or Sumi Rata that I have. You know, you don't have to get that much lenses because there's so many other lenses that are much cheaper that has more characteristic.
Right.
And I think like people just like understand that like the quality like isn't really that matter. I think like some of the photographs like some people like to shoot on portrait, which is might be good for a Canon the Canon camera that you have.
Right.
But with the Leica camera, it's quite difficult because you have to range finding the things. You have to imagine what your composition looks like.
Right.
While as a Canon, you said it's just like 100% what you see.
Right.
Through the lens.
Right.
So that your images is like 100%. It's gonna be look like
That's
that.
correct.
So I think like I think this is very limited towards people who use a Leica camera or Leica lenses, because everybody doesn't like. Not everybody loves Leica camera. I think some people just like doesn't like it because it just like keeps your time. It feels like wasting their time, and then the finance, right?
Yeah.
So I would say like getting the cheapest lenses is still considered like a camera anyway, because I appreciate the Voigtlander and the Chinese made like a TT Artisan or 7 Artisan that makes it like an M mount.
You can still go out and shoot and get
Yeah,
good
you can
photos.
still go out and shoot, take photos. So
Right.
if those companies exist, that means that's a great opportunity to just experience Leica.
Right.
But if you want to have like a little bit of higher quality, excuse me, you can get like a Voigtlander vintage lens
Right.
and the Zeiss lens.
Right.
It still has like similarities.
Konica.
Konica, yeah. Those brands has like the closest high quality with the Leica lens.
Right.
But like, even though people say it's like a 90% difference, why would you get like extra couple $1,000s to get that extra percentage when it's good enough?
A lot of people can't justify it. I understand. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I think like we're craving into gears.
Yeah.
I think this is I might be probably gonna be a weird thing, but this is like a man thing. We're competing each other like with gear. Maybe. I don't know like why like people just so into like a really high quality stuff rather than it's like cars. Like everybody wants Mercedes-Benz, but they don't know what Mercedes-Benz model is. So that's what the Leica camera.
Right.
There's so many different genres. There's like some people get confused like which Leica is which.
Yeah.
Because it's really like people who's a beginner, first time they see between MP and the M6, they think they all look the same.
Right.
So I think at this point, like, you can get the camera that is affordable enough for you, and just keep it focused like that.
Yeah.
And if you really want MP, like me, who've been watching for 6 years, you have purpose, you have a commitment, then you can just buy whatever you like. And I think you don't need to listen what other people say. Just believe in yourself.
Yeah,
actually,
for sure,
yeah.
definitely. Do you have a favorite kind of film?
Oh, my favorite, Fujifilm Pro 400H.
Yeah.
That was my favorite because it's the first roll of film that I used. But the quality is just kind of closest realistic color I can get. If you're overexposing it, the green looks realistic. Well, Kodak is like more like pinkish, orangish. But I do love call that color plus.
I see.
Color is like 80s vibe,
Yeah.
but still has that modern production, so that's pretty good for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure most of you might know his favorite film is Black and White,
Yeah.
and you can say what's your favorite film?
I feel like I have two.
Yeah.
There was a favorite. I only had one favorite for the longest time, and that was Ilford's XP2 Super.
Uh-huh.
And it was because it was the sharpness that I liked. I liked the tones it delivered. I could generate these creamy blacks with it
Yeah.
that I couldn't with some other film stocks.
Yeah, okay.
And it's a little bit more expensive than a lot of the black and white film out there.
Yeah.
But regardless, this particular film I discovered on Ilford's website. They said you can change the ISO mid-roll
Really?
on
Okay.
your camera. So, which is nice because I can get up in the morning,
Yeah.
shoot, lunch, shoot, evening, shoot, and at night I can shoot on the same roll. I can change the ISO. Like when I got the M6 in Kyoto last year, I bought XP2 because I knew it would deliver these interesting images at night. And then it was just discovery of what the Leica could do. But I knew what the film was going to do. So I love that film. And then I recently just started shooting FP4, Ilford's FP4, because it's very sharp. And I like the contrasts aren't intense. I can still get those creamy blacks, and it's just super, super sharp.
That is true.
And it's a lot cheaper. And the box speed is 125.
Oh yeah.
And they say you can go to 200. Fine. I don't normally overexpose. I don't normally go above box speed on any other film besides XP2. So I'm just gonna keep things at box speed for the FP4. So now this FP4 is basically my second favorite. I love this film so much. So on a sunny day, I can take this film out and depending on how I develop it, or how I scan it, or how I edit it in post, I can still generate some of those harder shadows. Like if it's super sunny like today, I can still go in and get those big contrasts. But at the same time, like if I just go easy in development, if I'm not agitating really hard, like I'm just this film is definitely another go-to. So if somebody said the only film left in the world is XP2 and FP4, I'd be like, no problem. So that's it.
Yeah. And I think color and black and white, they're like the two different things. And I think black and white, I experienced using the black and white, and it taught me a lot in terms of the light. And the difference between the black area and the white area.
Right.
So I'm trying to make a balance off of it, and as I'm learning like the balance between the black and white, and I'm starting to get involved like in colors as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of I have realized I got this point, the experience that maybe bright colors, interesting colors, might be a distraction. Maybe it's a good idea to photograph.
Yeah.
So I'm more recently focused on like a red focus only photograph, or like a pink only photograph, while surroundings are different colors.
Yeah.
Trying to like get people like into the colors. So humans are really good at looking at the red stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm trying to photograph something that is like a reddish environment and like a reddish outfit, so that people can just look at it and focus on it.
Right.
So
It's interesting too because red, when you're shooting black and white, red comes out very dark.
yeah.
So it's very interesting to try to find what colors create what tones, and that to me is very interesting. And I think sometimes for a lot of people that is difficult when shooting black and white, and especially film, because you know what, when you're out there with your digital,
Yeah.
you can bang away all day and discover them, discover what colors do immediately.
That's true.
And then, especially with digital black and white, you can adjust all those red tones in post. You know, I believe one of the only cameras that is made out there is a Leica monochrome, where it's strictly black and white. There's no color elements that make those black and white tones, hues, like whatever. So you can't adjust those red tones in post. You can't.
Yeah.
You know,
It's there.
It's
you know?
right. So anyway, regardless, it's good. I really enjoy.
Sorry about it because the data storage problems. So
No
you can
worries.
continue on.
Yeah, we're just talking about, you know, how discovering what colors do in black and white. So, you know, reds are darker. Many other colors are, you know, have different, you know, mid tones, and you know, finding those bigger contrasts is always interesting for people when they're shooting digital, because you can see it. You can just go, oh, okay, this is happening. Oh, okay, that's happening. With the film, you know, if you're a beginner, it's hard to determine what is going to happen. So I actually really, really like that. I like determining what colors are going to turn out to be dark or medium contrast. It's really fun for me. And yeah, so anyway, I just, you know, I recently put out a photo book, and late last year,
Yeah.
and it was just a great experience to be able to shoot for a number of months and sort of share the journey of starting to shoot film again. Just random experiences
Yeah.
in Tokyo, and I really like it. It's definitely a good outlet for me, and I'm going to create another one. I don't know if I'm going to create another one this year, but definitely next year. And
Alright. So that'll be your next year New Year resolution.
yeah, this year I'm just you know, getting over the whole, you know, pandemic thing. It's starting to ease up in Tokyo a little bit, so that's nice.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it's nice to be able to just do, you know, make with creativity a different way. You know, I'm not producing any print this year. People can order prints from me, but I'm not creating any more photo books this year. I might next year. So there it is.
Okay.
We'll see.
So the photo book that you mentioned, which you have given to me, I would like to share from the viewers as well. This is his photo book. This is the one you sold it last year.
Yeah. It's called Tokyo Grit and Grain.
That's amazing.
And it's just about, it's probably about 6 different types of film in the book. And just random experiences on the street. It's purely urban, you know. I don't want to say street photography, but there's a lot of street style work in there. But it's all urban images with a few different cameras. A few with the Leica, a few with the Canon 500, 500N, I think it is.
Canon 500N.
Yeah,
Wow,
and then I've got the
okay.
1N here, and then Minolta rangefinders. Just random on the street stuff. It's fun. It's cool. So
I think the what you photographed that I've noticed it, you're more kind of like a creative, like an art style.
yeah,
I think it's like you know, it's kind of like for me when I look at this photographs, it's kind of like a unique. It's very detailed, but it's also very simple.
yeah. Here,
Like a composition, for example. Is it okay if I show it to you?
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like. So you can see there's a person lining up waiting for to cross the street, or there's a lady standing behind the train line.
Yeah.
Is it the train line?
It's at the train.
Yeah. So it's like that kind of simplicity and that detail is very interesting to look at it.
No, and really, like, it's those two photos to me in my brain were like really, really technical. You know, and like, you know, how to, how am I separating the images? How am I determining what lies where? What lies where in the viewfinder? Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Even though it is very creative, a lot of it's pretty technical in my mind. So anyway, it's fun. So
Yeah, this is I think this is Shinjuku.
hi.
Yeah, so this is, I don't know, there's some of the videos I did photograph in this region. This is, the left is on the Omoide Yokocho,
Hi.
and then on the right side is the west side, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a number of neighborhoods, but just trying to find interesting.
Yeah, I do like this composition where people that's like sitting or standing on the wall.
Yeah,
It's
like to
very
me, I think like okay, these people are on one side looking in at maybe these people.
Yeah.
These guys are having a conversation. These guys are on their phones. There's just something going on there. Like on a lot of the spreads in the book, I really try to.
Yeah.
How are the photos speaking to each other? Like even on the next spread,
Yeah.
these shadows help create the spread. The photos work by themselves, but the spread works together
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, that's
so
true.
anyway, this
That's
is in
true.
Ebis.
Ebisu.
Hi.
Oh yeah, I know this the cross in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
and people can visit TokyoGritAndGrain.com to
Yes,
order the
yes.
book.
Yes, of course.
If you're in the United States, it might take a little bit longer to get to you because there are shipping restrictions now. But anyone in Japan can order this book. So
All right.
anyway, and if you want to have a photo walk, let's go out and have a photo walk, and you can pick up the book there too.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be amazing.
That'd be fun.
But I do, yeah, I think like this is like different between, I can see the difference between my work and your work. You're like more like focusing on simplicity. Mine is a little bit chaotic, I would say. So I think like simplicity is much easier to people to see things.
I hope so.
And so I think it's worth it to buy this one. I
Thanks.
personally do think. But thank you.
You're
for
welcome.
the
You're
photo
welcome.
book.
You're welcome.
I'll make something.
Yeah, you're
I'll
challenged.
make something. Yeah.
I challenge you.
Oh my goodness.
You'll do it. You can do it.
Yeah.
Even if it's postcards or like one-off prints,
Yeah.
and just having a little, page to, sell them from or, to take out with you. We met that gentleman today at the in the Yokocho,
Yeah.
and it would have been cool, like if you had postcards or things like
To
give
share.
as well.
Yeah.
That might be kind of cool. I think
Yeah.
I might do that too.
Well, maybe next time. Yeah. Next time. Yeah. That's actually a good idea. Like share a creative, like an artsy photograph
We call
with
it
everybody.
We call it guerrilla marketing.
a guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think I think like many people who just started out doing streets or like photography in general should try it out to make some sort of like a album book.
Yeah, print your work.
Print the work, yeah, I think it's a good idea.
It's good to see what you create too. It's also good to get a critique here and there as well.
Yeah.
And I think we were talking earlier about when we walk together, we're able to talk about things that we see, how we shoot,
Yes,
why
that's
we
true.
shoot it, what we don't like. It's an interesting thing to have photo walks with people.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
It's definitely not a requirement, but I certainly have found throughout the years that, man, it's really productive. Plus you get to meet new friends.
Yeah, that's a great part about it. Yeah, meet new people, meet different kinds of photography.
Yeah.
And then hopefully we'll get in the future we get different, more creative, much better.
Yeah.
Because we're all learning, right?
Yeah, there's always progress.
There's always
progress, no matter how many years or decades you've been doing it. So
Yeah, that's That's a good advice. Yeah. So thank you.
Thank you.
So much for watching, and thank you for participating in the interview.
You know it, definitely. Let's do it again. Let's do it again.
We'll do it. We'll do it like a different conversation. Hopefully, like a different kind of it. But this is the very first interview. Even though I recorded in Sangenjaya, but unfortunately, due to like audio complications and whatever kind of. So it's like everything started from like.
No worries.
Here, hopefully, is better for viewers. So yeah, go check his channel out, Jason Garcia.
The YouTube channel is Shutter Advance.
Shutter Advance. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and if you want to, you can go to Shutter Advance on Instagram. But you can, if you want to see my film work, it's at jgarcia.35mm.
All right.
So that's where you can see my film work. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. No, but thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you. So check his out, or you can check my out, then check his out.
That's right. That's right. This is the guy right here.
Yeah. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thank you. Bye.
Big city.
That is true.
You know what I mean? Like this is amazing.